They counted me out. Every single one of them. Watch this. Came from nothing, ain't nobody in my corner. Every single night I trained alone, got colder. Nobody believed the vision, nobody saw it. Had to build the whole damn thing and never pause it. Walk into the room, they looked right through me. Thought I quit before I started, thought they knew me. But I've been preparing for this moment all my life. Every scar, every setback was just practice for the fight. Yeah, I'm here now. Whoa. Stepped out the shadows. Yeah, I'm here now. They should've known. Built myself from nothing in the dark and all alone. Yeah, I'm here now. Whoa. And I ain't going home. Used to watch the ones that cry from far away. Told myself that I'd be standing there one day. Not with their permission, not with their support. Built my own arena when they shut the door. Every doubt they threw at me became my fuel. Every door they closed on me became my tool to build something bigger than they ever thought I could. Coming from the bottom of the neighborhood. Yeah, I'm here now. Whoa. Stepped out the shadows. Yeah, I'm here now. They should've known. Built myself from nothing in the dark and all alone. Yeah, I'm here now. Whoa. And I ain't going home. They never saw me coming. They never heard my name. Now I'm standing in the light, and nothing feels the same. Finally here. So I walk into the underground with nothing left to prove. Just the hunger and the heartbeat and the will to move. Every fighter in this room has got a story of their own, but mine's the one they'll talk about when I am gone. So I wrap my hands and step into the ring tonight. Not just fighting for the trophy, fighting for my life. Everything I sacrificed is standing right here now. They asked me how I made it, I just told them about. Yeah, I'm here. Whoa, finally. This is just the beginning. Koala Beatz. Nobody really knows what happens after the lights go out, after the performance, after everyone has left the house. The version of me that nobody gets to see is the one who sits alone and questions everything. Whoa. Smile for the camera, carry on like nothing's heavy, but the weight I carry home will break most people already. They see the outside, see the confidence, the posture, never see the 2 a.m. when I'm my own imposter. Try to explain it once to someone close to me. Watch their eyes glaze over like I'm speaking differently. Not because they didn't care, but because they couldn't reach the place inside the fighter where the loneliness lives deep. So I stopped explaining, stopped translating what I feel into language that makes sense to people who don't deal with this specific kind of solitude that comes from being built for something most people run from. Nobody sees what this costs. Nobody sees what gets lost. Smile outside, cry inside. Fighter's curse, you carry it alone every time. Whoa. full of people, never felt so empty. Everyone around me, but nobody really with me. Whoa. Not that far, just the nature of this path. When you walk this far ahead, you walk it on your own at last. See the vision others haven't arrived at yet. Carry the belief before there's anything to show for it. That specific loneliness has no real cure. Just the faith that what you're building will be worth it for sure. Call my closest friend at midnight, couldn't sleep again. Halfway through explaining, just stop talking, let it end. Whoa. Not because he wouldn't listen, but because some things live so deep inside the fighter that they lose their wings. When you try to pull them out and show them to the light, some things only make sense in the middle of the night. When it's just you and the ceiling and the question of your worth, and the silence that reminds you what this path is really worth. Nobody sees what this costs. Nobody sees what gets lost. Smile outside, cry inside. The fighter's curse, you carry it alone every time. Whoa. Loneliness ain't weakness, it's just part of the price. Seeing something clearly before it comes to life. Whoa. Carry it, own it, let it fuel the fight. So I made peace with the solitude a long time ago. Stop waiting for someone to fully understand the road, because the ones who walk this path will find each other eventually. In the music, in the silence, in the space between the melody. Until then I carry it with grace and with intention. Every lonely night another layer of dimension. Added to the man I'm building, added to the art. The loneliness of fighting lives forever in my heart. Alone, always been, but never broken, never done.
Koala Beatz.
Whoa.
You counted me out, now look at me. Built from nothing, still standing. Moved in silence while they talk. Took every hit, never stopped. No mercy, cold heart. No mercy, dark star. Came from nothing, now I'm here. No mercy, year after year. Lost everything, found myself, bled for this. No one else, room goes quiet when I walk in. Paid the price, now I win. Whoa, build different. Whoa, ooh. They never saw it coming, never heard my name. Did it all alone and I do it again. No mercy, mercy, never. Koala Beatz.
Corner of the ring, and everything is blurry. Crowd sounds far away, like someone turned the volume down. Mouth guard tastes like copper, and I'm trying to remember why I stepped into this ring in the first place right now. Cuts above my eye, and knees are barely holding. 30 seconds left before the bell rings out again. This is where most people fall, this is where most people decide the price is more than what they signed up to spend. Nobody prepares you for the middle of the fight, when the fire from the start is burned away completely. When the victory you imagine feels so far from where you stand, and then the only thing you got left is breathing. This is where you find the thing that training never gives you, the part of you that lives beneath the skill and the technique, the raw and reasonable refusal to stay down, the voice so deep inside you barely hear it when it speaks. Between the rounds is where the real fight lives, not in the punches, but in what the silence gives. 30 seconds to decide who you really are. are between the rounds is where you find your heart. Trina's talking, but I barely hear the words. Just a heartbeat and a question, do I have enough? Look down at my hands and saw everything I sacrificed. Every early morning, every night when it got tough. Something about seeing all of that collected in one moment. Made the choice for me before my mind could interfere. Got up off the stool and walked back to the center. Not because I wasn't scared, but because I was here. See, the middle of the battle is where legends separate from the ones who had the talent, but not the way. The commitment to continuing costs everything when the only thing that's keeping you is faith. Faith in something you can see or touch or measure. Faith that all the suffering is building something real. Faith that every round you survive is getting you somewhere, even when surviving is the only thing you feel. Between the rounds is where the real fight lives. Not in the punches, but in what the silence gives. 30 seconds to decide who you really are. Between the rounds is where you find your heart. So I breathe, let the 30 seconds do their work. Let the silence hold the weight of everything I've earned. Every scar a sentence in a story I've been writing. Every round survived another lesson I have learned. Bell rings and I'll rise again, not because I'm ready, cause readiness is a luxury. The middle doesn't give rise because the alternative is something I won't consider. Rise because between these rounds is everything I live. Yeah, between the round, this is where it matters. Get up. Koala Beatz. Between the round.
Had a moment sitting alone, couldn't take it no more. Everything I built was crumbling right down to the floor. Wasn't no one coming, nobody picking up the phone. Had to make a decision in the dark, all alone. Look myself dead in the eyes, seen a stranger staring back. Seen a man who lost his way somewhere deep in the cracks. That was it right there, that moment hit different and cold. Something told me either rise right now or never grow old. Had to make a choice in the dark. Nobody there, just me and my heart. Either fall right here or find a way to fight. Either stay down or get up and step into the light. Yeah, that moment changed everything. Whoa. Couldn't keep pretending everything was fine on the surface. Drowning every day and couldn't even find a purpose. Sat with all the weight of every failure and regret. Every broken promise, every dream I hadn't met yet. But something deep inside refused to let me disappear. Quiet voice said, get up, even though I couldn't hear. Through the noise, the pain, the darkness, something cut right through. Said the only way out is to finally push through. Had to make a choice in the dark. Oh, nobody there, just me and my heart. Either fall right here or find a way to fight. Either stay down or get up and step into the light. Yeah, that moment changed everything. Whoa. Dark nights hit different when you alone. Can't call nobody, can't pick up the phone. Just you and the silence and the weight of it all. Just you and the question, do you rise or do you fall? So I rose, not because it was easy, not because I had support. Rose because the alternative was something I couldn't afford. Every dark night got a morning somewhere at the end. Every broken man got something left in him to mend. That moment in the darkness was the moment I was born. Not the day I came to earth, but the night I rose from torn. Yeah, that moment changed everything. Whoa. Whoa. Koala Beatz. Whoa. Never thought I'd let someone see me like this. See the version of me that the fight left behind. Cuss that haven't healed and doubt I haven't spoken. Pieces of myself I left somewhere in the grind. Most people only want you when you win it. When the blood is cleaned up and the story sounds good. She stayed when I was losing, stayed when I was broken, stayed in ways I never thought another person could. Came home late one night with nothing left inside me, empty in a way that words don't quite describe. She didn't ask for explanations, didn't push for answers, just sat beside me in the dark and let me breathe. That was the moment I understood what staying means. Not the easy version, not the comfortable kind. The kind that costs something, the kind that asks you to witness someone's darkness and refuse to leave behind.
I see you in the fighting, I see you in the fall, I see you in the silence, when you give me nothing at all. And I stay,
not because it's easy,
but because you're worth the wait. I stay,
'cause love isn't just the good days,
it's every broken place.
Asked her once why she doesn't leave, when leaving would be easier. She said she didn't fall in love with just the version that was winning. Said she loved the whole terrain of who I was becoming, even the parts I hadn't figured out yet from the beginning. That kind of love is dangerous, it gets inside your armor, makes you wanna be the man she sees when no one's looking, makes you wanna survive, not just for yourself anymore, but for the life that you've been slowly building, cooking. She never asked me to be perfect, never asked me to be strong, never made me feel like breaking. Was a place I don't belong, just held a space beside me, let the darkness have its moment, then reminded me with silence that the dark was never permanent. Some people love the highlight, some people love to shine. She loved me at my lowest, and that love became the line between the man who almost didn't make it through the fight and the man who found a reason to keep walking toward the light. I
see you in the fighting, I see you in the fall, I see you in the silence, when you give me nothing at all. And I stay,
not because it's easy,
but because you're worth the wait. I stay, 'cause love isn't just the good days, it's every broken place.
You didn't sign up for the war,
I signed up for you,
that's the same thing,
I know,
and I do it again. So I fight different now, not just for myself or for the legacy, but for the morning when she wakes up next to someone who made it through completely, who didn't let the darkness win,
who didn't let the way decide his ending,
who chose to keep on going, not just for himself,
but for the love worth defending. I see you,
still fighting, still here,
that's enough for me.
always.
Koala Beatz.
Yeah. There's a voice inside my head that never lets me rest. Questions every move I make, it puts me to the test. Ask me if I'm right, ask me if I'm real. Ask me if the things I want are things I'm meant to feel. Some nights it gets so loud I can't hear anything else. Can't hear the progress, can't hear the wins, just the doubts about myself. Funny how the darkness always finds you at your best. Right when you're about to break through, it puts you to the test. So, sat alone at 2 a.m. and questioned everything. Every sacrifice I made, every dream I'm chasing. Is it worth the pain? Is it worth the cost? Is it worth the people and the time that I have lost? Nobody sees the version of me that breaks down behind closed doors. Nope, nobody sees the man who crawls across the floor before he stands up, puts his face on and walks out. That's the part they never show you, that's what it's really about. Doubt never really leaves you, it just changes shape. Some days it's a whisper, some days it fills a space. But I learned to walk beside it, stop trying to fight it away. Doubt just means you carry on to question every day. Been in rooms where I felt like I didn't belong. Been at tables where they looked through me all along. Question every word I said, every step I took. Questioning my story was even worth the look. But doubt without action is just fear in a suit. And I've been wearing fear too long, now I'm after the truth. So I let the doubt speak and then I do it anyway. That's the only answer I found at the end of the day. The ones who never doubt themselves are the ones who never grow. Certainty is comfortable, but comfort keeps you slow. I'd rather live inside the question and pretend I have it solved. Rather break apart completely than stay small and unresolved. Every doubt I ever had left something useful in its place. Every night I questioned everything. I woke up with more gray. Doubt never really leaves you, it just changes shape. Some days it's a whisper, some days it fills a space. But I learned to walk beside it, stop trying to fight it away. Doubt just means you care enough to question every day. So tonight I sit with all of it, the fear, the doubt, the pain. Let it wash through me completely like cold November rain. Not because I'm broken, because I'm finally honest about the weight I carry and the price of every promise made to myself in the dark when nobody was watching. Made to the version of me that refused to stop walking. Doubt never going away, but neither am I. Still here, still moving. Koala Beatz. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Every time they swore I was finished, I came back different. Every time the ground gave way, I found something to stand on. Not because I'm stronger than the average, because I made a promise to myself I can't abandon. See, there's a version of the story where I stayed down, where the weight became the ceiling and I never left the ground. But I chose a different chapter every single time I fell. Chose to write a different ending to the story they would tell. People place their bets on your destruction, like your failure is a currency they need. Watch you struggle like it validates their comfort, like your breaking is the proof they need to feed. They narrative that certain people stay in certain places, that the box they built around you is the limit of your space. But I've been breaking boxes since before they built the first one. Breaking through the ceiling, finding ceiling after ceiling after ceiling gone. I don't fall, I just reload. Every time they count me out, I just find another road. Hit me with your hardest, watch me still stand tall. I don't fall, I just reload. Took hits that would've finished men twice my size. Took losses that would've emptied most men of they drive. But something in the damage made me more precise. Something in the breaking taught me how to sacrifice the parts of me that weren't serving where I'm going. The habits and the patterns and the comfort zones I'm throwing away, because the man I'm building has no room for excess weight. Every scar a renovation, every fall a different gate. Understand that falling isn't failing, it's just feedback. That the path you took had something it needed to give back. Before it let you through, before it let you past, before it showed you what was built to last, and what was built on sand, and what was built on solid ground, and what was built on other people's voices and their sound. I rebuilt on my own foundation, on my own terms. Every fall a lesson, every lesson something earned. I don't fall, I just reload. Every time they count me out, I just find another road. Hit me with your hardest, watch me still stand tall. I don't fall, I just reload. So bring the next one, bring whatever life decides to send. I've been through enough to know that nothing ever really ends. Just transform into something I can use if I'm willing to stay present in the breaking, stay present in the building. Every round I survive adds to the weight of what I carry. Every scar I earn becomes the armor that I wear. They thought the hits would hollow me out, leave me empty, but every hit just made more room for something plenty. Yeah, I don't fall, I just reload. Every single time. Watch me. Koala Beatz. Old photograph I found inside a drawer I forgot existed. Younger version of myself before the world had twisted. I still had that light that comes before the lessons, before you learn that love and loss arrive in equal measures. Remember being that person like remembering a stranger, someone who believed in everything without the danger of knowing what was coming, knowing what it costs to become who you are. You gotta carry what you lost. Memories are strange the way they find you when you're moving. Show up uninvited in the moments you're improving. Like they wanna text you, see if you still feel the weight of everything that shaped you, everything that made you late to your own becoming, late to your own knowing, late to understanding which direction you were going. But later's not the same as never, and I learned that slow. Some arrivals only matter because of how long they took to show. I carry every memory like stones inside my chest. Some of them are heavy, some remind me of the rest of who I used to be before I knew the cost. Every memory I carry is a version I have lost. Yeah. Remember the apartment where I made my first real promise to myself alone at night when nothing but my conscience said I'd rather burn completely than stay half alive. Said I'd rather lose it all than forget how to survive with my dignity intact, with my vision still in focus. Said these words to no one but the silence and the darkness. Funny how the promises you make when no one's listening are the only ones that stick, are the only ones still glistening. People from my past
show up in dreams I didn't ask for. Faces from the chapters that I thought I closed the last door on. The versions of the story that we shared for just a moment, before life moved us forward, before time became the opponent. Don't regret a single one of them, not even the ones that hurt me. Every person, every season had a purpose. Every journey left a mark that changed the shape of who I was becoming. Every memory a lesson, every lesson keeps me running. I carry every memory like stones inside my chest. Some of them are heavy, some remind me of the rest of who I used to be before I knew the cost. Every memory I carry is a version I have lost. So I hold them gently now instead of running from them. Used to try to bury everything that felt like burden. Now I understand the weight is just the proof that it was real, that I lived enough to lose things that were worth the way I feel. Every scar a memory, every memory a teacher. Every goodbye made me closer to a truer kind of creature. One who knows that carrying the past ain't being stuck. Moved through the darkness like I owned it. Every shadow in the room became familiar. Built my whole empire in the places where the light refused to follow me in. Whoa. They thought the dark would swallow me completely. Thought I'd lose myself inside the night. But darkness taught me things that light can never. Show me about what it means to fight. City lights below me like a million little fires. Each one someone's dream, someone's desperate. Ooh. Watched them from the roof and felt the weight of everything that I refused to settle. Every version of myself that almost chose the comfortable, the safe, the stable. Chose the roof instead, chose the uncertain. Chose to fight instead of sitting at the table. Moving through the night like it belongs to me. Everything they said I couldn't be, built it in the dark with no one watching. Now the whole world seeing what I'm dropping. See, the ones who make it to the other side ain't the ones who had the clearest vision. They the ones who kept on moving forward even when they couldn't trust the decision. Every step a prayer, every move a gamble, every night a test of who you really are. Came from nothing but I moved like something in the darkness, I became the star. Pressure builds a diamond, pressure builds a fighter. Every heavy night just made me lighter. In the ways that matter, in the ways that count, in the ways that add up to the final amount of everything I am today. Couldn't see it then, but I can see it now. Every dark road led me to this moment. Every sacrifice was just a vow. Moving through the night like it belongs to me. Everything they said I couldn't be, built it in the dark with no one watching. Now the whole world seeing what I'm dropping. Was never my enemy. The night was just the canvas where I painted everything they said was impossible. Still painting, still moving, still here. So I walk into the final chapter with the scars of every battle on display. Ooh, not ashamed of what the fight has cost me. Proud of every price I had to pay. This the version of myself I always knew was someone buried underneath the doubt, the fear, the noise. Ooh, took the underground to find him, took the darkness. Now we standing here reclaiming all his poise.
Used to let their words get underneath my skin. Used to replay every comment, let them in. Every opinion, every warning, every doubt. Used to shake me to the core from the inside out. Spent so many years adjusting to their gaze. Spent so many nights lost inside their maze. Performed a version of myself they would accept. Bury who I really was just to get their respect. Yeah. Then one morning something shifted in my chest. Realized their approval wasn't putting me to rest. Realized every time I changed to fit their view, there was less and less remaining of the real me coming through. So I stopped mid-sentence and I never finished it. Stopped explaining my decisions, stopped trying to commit to a version of myself that wasn't mine to own. Picked up everything I buried and I walked back home. I don't hear them anymore. The noise just fades away. Every word they ever say means less and less each day. Not because I hold it, not because I close, just because I finally found the only voice that knows. Yeah. See the people with opinions on your life. Never seem to have the scars that come with it. Never seem to bleed the way you bleed at night. Never seem to carry what you carry for a minute. Easy to critique from comfortable distance. Easy to advise when you got no skin in it. So I start collecting their perspective like it mattered. Swept it off the table and I left the ego shattered. Silence is a language they don't understand. When you start reacting they don't know where to land. Used to need the last word, used to need to explain. Now I just move forward through the noise, through the rain. Let them talk, let them wonder, let them feel the air. With everything they think they know about what I should wear, about who I should be, about where I should go. They can have the noise, I take the overflow. I don't hear them anymore. The noise just fades away. Every word they ever say means less and less each day. Not because I hold it, not because I close, just because I finally found the only voice that knows. Yeah. Now I walk into the rooms where they expected me to shrink. Stand exactly where I stand and never stop to think about whether I belong here or deserve to take the space. Look them in the eye and never move my face. Cold, not cool, just clear about what matters. Let the irrelevant opinions fall like scattered pieces of a story that was never really mine. Do my own damn map and follow my own line. So if you waited for me to react, you'll wait forever. If you waited for me to explain, I'm done with clever, done with proving, done with showing, done with all of it. Took my energy back and I'm done distributing it to the ones who never asked what it cost me to be here. To the ones who never once acknowledged what I had to clear, just to stand exactly where I'm standing right now. Ignore the noise, ignore the doubt, and just take the bow. Yeah, I don't hear you. Not anymore. Never again. Koala Beatz. Thought about what I leave behind long before I knew I had anything worth leaving. Thought about the version of my name that outlived the breathing. Not the fame, not the money, not the accolades, but the feeling that someone somewhere hurt something I made and it started the healing. Legacy ain't built in moments, it's built in the accumulation of every quiet decision, every private dedication, every time you chose to stay when leaving was the easier option, every time you chose the truth when lying was the softer adoption. What I leave behind is not what I own. What I leave behind is every seed I've sown in the people who watch, in the ones who saw me fall. What I leave behind is the proof that I gave all. I think about the ones who come after, the ones who need to see that it's possible to build something real from nothing like me. Not to worship what I built, but to know the ground is solid, that someone walked this road before and made it through the hardest. My grandfather never spoke much, but the way he lived said everything. Every callus on his hands, every morning he kept offering himself to something bigger than his own comfort or his name. I understand him now in ways I never could before. The pain is not what I own, what I leave behind is every seed I've sown, and the people who are watching, and the ones who saw me fall. What I leave behind is the proof that I gave all. So I build not for the day, but for the morning after I am gone. Build not for applause, but for the ones who carry on. Every song a letter to a stranger I will never meet, who needed to be told that broken people still complete something worth completing, something worth the cost of living. Legacy is just the art of intentional giving. And when the final piano note fades into the silence, I want the echo to be something stronger than compliance, stronger than the fear that kept so many voices quiet. I want it to be proof that one man chose to defy it, chose to speak, chose to build, chose to bleed in public view. Legacy is just the courage to be completely true. Yeah, this is what I leave. Nothing, not trophies, just truth, just music, just this. Koala Beatz. Last round and I got nothing left to prove to anyone. Every battle, every breakdown, every war already won. Not the war outside, the one that lived inside my chest, the one that kept me up at night and put me to the test. Stepped into this final round with everything I am, every scar, every lesson, every piece of who I am. This ain't about the trophy, this ain't about the crown. This is about the man I chose to be when life pushed down. Funny how the final round feels nothing like you thought. All the noise disappears and everything gets caught in slow motion in the silence of a moment so precise. You see your whole life clearly like you're seeing it twice. Every choice that led you here, every door you walked through, every night you stayed up grinding when nobody knew. All of it compressed into this single point in time. All of it demanding that you give your last dime. Last round, everything on the line. Last round, running out of time, but I've been here before, in the dark alone. Last round, and I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. Yeah, yeah.
Legs are heavy, but my mind is clear as it has ever been. Seen enough to know that this is where the real begins. Not the beginning of the fight, but the beginning of the truth of what survives when everything is stripped down. To the proof that you were here, that you fought, that you refused to fold. That the story of your life is one that needs to be told. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real and raw. Because you bled for every single thing you ever saw. See, the ones who make it to the final round aren't special. They just refuse to quit when quitting was the option. When the comfortable was calling, when the easy was right there. When everything inside them screamed, get out of here. But something kept them moving, something kept them upright. Something in the chest that only activates at midnight. When the world is dark and quiet and it's just you and the truth. That's what champions are, I mean, not in the light, but in the first round.
Everything on the line, last round. Running out of time, but I've been here before. In the dark alone, last round. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. Yeah. So I breathe one final time and feel the weight of all of it. Every person who believed in me and every counterfeit who said I wouldn't make it, who said I never last, who watched me struggle and just waited for me to collapse. I dedicate this round to every version of myself that almost didn't make it, that almost chose someone else's shelf to sit on quietly, forgotten and unknown. This round is for the fighter who refused to die alone, yeah. Last round, everything left in the tank, all of it, right now. Koala Beatz.